Hey guys, it's the Faceless Beanie and welcome to my Octavia guide where I'll cover her abilities, some synergies and show you a build as well. Let's get right into it. Octavia's passive, Inspiration, causes her to provide the inspiration buff to herself and nearby allies upon casting any ability. The buff replenishes 1 energy per second for 30 seconds. Octavia also has access to her signature instrument, the Mandachord, which can be accessed from her Appearance tab. The Mandachord allows the player to compose their own unique tracks. It's separated into 4 bars and you can place notes within these bars. You can add a melody, some bass and percussion for each note. The purple section represents the melody, the blue is the bass and the grey is the percussion. Octavia's abilities are all affected by different sections of the Mandachord. Let's move into her first ability, Mallet. Octavia throws a mallet at the surface being aimed at. On impact, it hovers in place and attracts enemies to attack it on sight while absorbing all enemy damage. Damage absorbed is accumulated and stored briefly, then converted into blast damage and is dealt to all enemies within a limited radius with a damage multiplier. Mallet utilizes the percussion section of the Mandachord. Duration is affected by ability duration. The damage multiplier is affected by ability strength and radius is affected by ability range. Mallet's augment mod, Partitioned Mallet, allows Octavia to spawn 2 mallets with greatly reduced range simultaneously. Next, Resonator. The Resonator is an invulnerable roller spectre that seeks out enemies and charms them, causing enemies to cease aggression and follow it blindly. Each enemy charmed causes the charm radius to expand. All enemies receive limited blast damage while within the charm's radius. This ability utilizes the base section of the Mandachord. Duration is affected by ability duration, charm radius is affected by ability range, and damage is affected by ability strength. Resonator's augment mod, Conductor, allows Octavia to command Resonator to move to her reticle on demand. Next, Metronome. Octavia produces a melodic musical aura with a limited radius for a limited time, causing allies to gain an armor bonus while within the aura. The music is in tune with the melody section of the Mandachord. There's 4 different sync buffs that can be achieved by performing different actions in sync to the melody section of the Mandachord by both Octavia and her allies. Nocturne requires Octavia to crouch in sync with the melody. Once the synchronized percentage reaches 100% after several successful in-sync crouches, Octavia turns invisible for a limited time. Vivace requires jumping in sync instead to buff movement speed for a limited time. Forte requires in-sync melee attacks to provide a damage buff for melee weapons for a limited time. And finally, Opera requires in-sync ranged weapon attacks to buff their multi-shot for a limited time. Any buff can be refreshed while it's still active. It's recommended to have a melody with spacious, consistent distribution of notes so you can synchronize easily. Or you can ensure every single melody note is filled so you can spam to synchronize instead. Aura radius is affected by ability range, duration is affected by ability duration, and speed, multi-shot, armor, and melee damage bonuses are all affected by ability strength. Finally, Amp. Amp releases a damage buffing field with a limited radius. Octavia and her allies gain a scaling weapon-based damage multiplier, which increases as surrounding sound level gets higher. Sound level is affected by gunfire, footsteps, alarms, melee strikes, and her other abilities. Radius is affected by ability range, duration is affected by ability duration, and damage multipliers are affected by ability strength. Let's get into some synergies. Casting Mallet with Resonator will make Resonator follow Mallet's position, which makes for easy crowd control. Mallet will also inflict damage per beat that slowly increases and stacks over time this way. Casting Amp with Mallet already active doubles Mallet's damage immediately. Great way to clear rooms of enemies. Typically, you'd activate Metronome and go invisible, then cast Mallet and Amp or Resonator depending on the situation to deal with enemies. Continuously moving and attacking will passively give you all 4 Metronome buffs as well. Ensuring you keep Nocturne active means you'll almost be invincible. The build looks like this. It's a straightforward 3-forma build, and you'll notice there's a lack of survivability mods because ultimately you'll be relying on invisibility to survive. So instead, the build focuses on range and duration to ensure your abilities are as effective as possible. Octavia is great for both solo and team play. Whether you're looking to buff your allies or grind through a relaxing survival mission in the Steel Path, she can do it all. Octavia's invisibility, while not ideal, does come in handy in spy missions as well. She's really handy in the Grandam Void, easily the best Warframe to get things done here. Finally, she's also great for boss fights at all levels. Sometimes Mallet and Resonator will get the job done on their own, and other times they can be a distraction for you to finish off the bosses yourself. That's about it. I hope this helped you out. This is the Faceless Beanie signing out.